G'day everybody, where's Wally here? I asked GreaterSapien to send me some more files about his Antarctic flight with Critical Think so I could make a follow-up video to my wildly successful first one about his trip from Sydney to Johannesburg. The problem is he sent me a couple of files that I don't really think he meant to, and well, I'm sad to say it sort of blows the lid off a whole heap of things. Look, I'll just let you watch it and we'll explain it all at the end, sad to say.
Hey everybody, just left the Antarctic flight. I want you to see how they just hide things in plain sight. Look at this right here. Air BP. Look at that. Air BP. They're using compressed air, people. They're just hiding it. They're just telling us right there in front of everybody. They're just admitting it. Compressed air, people. So is it me, or is that just them admitting things right in front of us all? Just telling the truth that we're not going to believe. Right there.
So as you can see, the truth is out there. It's been hidden in plain sight the whole time. So, well, mark in your calendar the date that you saw this. It's the 1st of April. That's all I've got to say on this now. The 1st of April, mark it down when you found out these horrible facts. And it was good to see that the boys, Critical Think and GreaterSapien, both making adequate preparations before the big day. Next I wanted to show you the flight track from Flight Radar 24, and the shape was a little odd. I'm not sure if Wolfie had a word with one of his pilot mates and asked him to troll the flat earthers here, but anyway. But if we compare that to the BadElf track as well, those things are just so cool, that BadElf, and because then it ran the whole day all the way down to Antarctica and back. Good little bit of gear. When both the red Atlantic flight and the blue Sydney to Johannesburg flight KMLs are displayed, it is nice to see that the Johannesburg flight almost got as far south as Antarctica as well, 63 degrees south in fact, and the scenic flight made it to 66.79 south. Yes, I know it did make it to 66.668 to 4 degrees south at one stage, and I got a bit excited by that, but then that just turned out to be another number. Wolfie did mention this fact to Jerry when he booked the flight, saying he was sorry that he had to fly them all the way back to Sydney before going to Johannesburg, but on the upside the flight would go a lot further south, and it turns out Wolfie was right yet again. Good job. I wanted to do the usual Himawari 8 comparisons but this time the curve of the Earth meant that the Antarctic images were too angled to be very clear. Add to that fact that the clouds and ice are both white, it was very difficult to find much to cross-check in that way. But as you can see, the cloudless sky leaving Perth and during the scenic flight around Rottnest Island match up quite nicely with the Himawari 8 image. I wanted to show you a detailed look at how the scenic part of the plane flight over Antarctica looked, and again, thanks to the BadElf KML data, this was possible. The plane goes all over the place, but I guess this is what you need to do to allow a plane full of people time to photograph out the window. The plane had dropped from a cruising altitude of 9,000 metres down to 3,500 metres to do this. The boys were able to get some good pictures at the edge of the ice shelf, or ice wall as you would probably say if you're in a ship right beside it. Scale at this distance is very hard to judge. Oh, is that a supervillain lair down there, or maybe just a crack in the ice? If you zoom in on one of these super clear iceberg images, the shadows from the towering ice can be made out. Very impressive. And yet another iceberg, this one with heaps of huge cracks. This shot was taken by Critical Think's P1000 at a focal length of 560mm. Oh, and some land can also be seen in some of the photos poking through the ice. Antarctica is a continent after all. Critical Think tried out his IR-enabled P900 and it shows some impressive distant wind. Though the IR doesn't allow you to see any further, it does make things a little bit clearer. One of the coolest things I've seen is the shadow of the plane's own contrail on the ice below. Very cool, pun intended.
Trail, and where the contrail ends, there's the shadow of the aircraft, and there's a rainbow right around it.
Jerry spots a nice circular rainbow below the plane, and I'll let Jerry explain it.
4:45, and the sun is still above the wings. You can see the shadows being cast down below, and you can also tell that the sun is above us because the rainbow is still happening over there, which is pointing down, and the rainbow, of course, is the opposite of the sun at all times. And actually, I don't know if you can tell, but what I'm seeing with my eye is a double, possibly triple rainbow going on. I see at least two, and I think I see the hint of a third ring on that rainbow. But
This shot of the wing of the plane is absolutely glorious and a globe proof in one single shot. The setting sun is shining on the underside of the wing. The only way this is possible is for the sun angle to be below horizontal. Great pickup, Jerry. Good one. Love it. As the plane is coming into land, we can see Fremantle Harbour out the window. Thanks for identifying that for me, Wolfie. I know you've seen it before. Okay, and finally, that is the position where the plane was when that photo was taken, roughly. And that's pretty much all I've got for now, and I'll wrap it up. And here's the last piece of the flight plan too, just where the boys landed. So, and finally, I've got to stop saying finally. Finally, I just also wanted to thank Jerry and Critical Think. Both you guys have been excellent in letting me play with your data sets yet again, and you guys have just proved beyond a shadow of a doubt. There's not a question of it. These things, the globe is real. And for those people who love to think that GPS only works off underwater submarine cables, don't know how well that works with going down to Antarctica and beyond into the southern continent. Thanks, guys.